That story prompts me to ask you another question, and indeed to elaborate a little bit more on something similar that happened when you were in America. What was that one about the horse?
I was going along the Sunday we were going to America, and I'm actually fond of animals. I have a crave for them. But these mounted policemen, they're huge. We have them in America, no? Well, these huge big mounted police, and they were all black, and they're all armoured, dangerous looking things. And these big horses was ever so high up. So says I to the son, says I must put my hand on one of these horses. Don't dare it, he says, you'll be lifted. Well, I don't know what to lift me for, says I, for putting my hand on a horse. But anyhow, I let him and the man he was with go on, and me and the sister stood beside, and we came to the next horse. Well, I'm putting my hand on this one, says I to the sister. Don't, Nanny, don't attempt to do it. She ran in and hid in the doorway and wouldn't be seen. And I went over to the horse and I just rubbed the horse down from the ear down the neck. Says I, you're a grand big horse, says I, standing there doing your duty, and you have to do it well. And says I, you're a grand horse. And he turned round. They had told me that I'd be lifted, and the horse turned round and nosed me all up the shoulder, and the man above on the top of the house was looking on, and sure I was watching him to get her that. And the horse nosed me all up the whole shoulder and all up around my whole ear, the horse with his nose. And the man was above on the horse and said, you have to go now and do your duty and do it well. So he told me the horse's name, the man above. There's the insult I got. His name is such and such. I just remember what the name was. And I told him to be a good horse and on. So that happened in America, on Broadway.
Broadway, there you are. He too loved you. They all love, the dogs love you, everyone loves you. How many of a family had Dickie and yourself?
We had 14, but we haven't. 14 children was born to the family, but they're not all alive, nor any, like, there's as many as alive. 7, I think. 6. They're all boys. I say, only 4 girls on the family. And 2 of them was twinnies that died at birth. Well, I'll just tell you what happened to them. They died with pure hardship because we had to work too hard that time. They wouldn't take now going. Every child was born in the corner of the room. One of them nearly born was out in the field. That fellow was born, one of them was nearly born way above the road of the other house. For I'd get up and I'd go out and I had the horse and ponies come with, and I faced the house. So when I come back to the house, they were coming out looking for me.
Are you saying here that you had 14 of a family? Is
I had 14 of it, but they're not alive now. I was not.
How many grandchildren have you?
Well, I haven't many. For the lot, there's one man had 9, and another man is 8, and then there's 3, and she's a grandchild. That's a granddaughter. And there was only 2 of them. And how many more is there? How many has Patricia? I have 6 great-grandchildren. 6 and 2 is 8. Golly, I'm increasing.
They say now, just before I wrap up with you, that people are inclined to talk in recent years that people nowadays might not live as long as the ones from before, if you can follow me, the last generation, so to speak.
They're not either.
They're not?
They're not.
Right.
Don't you see all the young people that's dying?
Yeah.
And they're like me, left with a weed in the country.
What do you mean, the like of you? What's the recipe then, do you think? Well, what do you attribute long life to?
Well, I didn't attribute long life. There used to be a whole lot of us children in the house, and round in your thumb there used to be a big long mark that would go round. That comes out of joint, but this, I don't know whether it's in this one. But it used to start there and it'd come round to here, in everyone's hand. Well, they'd always tell you that the one had the shortest was the shortest living one. And funny to say, and strange to say, I was the one who had the shortest. And funny to say, and strange to say, I've lived longer than any of them.
You're going to have them all now checking their thumbs and their fingers.
Well, they can check away at the thumbs. That happened me, and my lifeline only came to there, and theirs was going to here. And they say, oh, you'll be gone before me.
Yeah.
So I said, sure.
So on average, if you were to go by that, you should have been long gone, if you don't mind me saying so.
Really, as long as I'm alive.
It's not a sign of that, not at all. Well, listen, we're going to leave it there. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Annie Barber, just outside Tierworker, and thanks a million for the chat. God bless you.
Well, I hope the good and the bad will not come together. But it's all the truth. It's all that. I could tell you 10 times more if it went to that. But it's things that did really happen. I remember when I was at home, I was up here and I was at home on holidays. And my father went somewhere and he let out the cows, and you know, at that time everyone had flax dams to drown these flax, and they were big waves. But he had a big pool across this to not let the cows in, only a certain length to get a drink. So he was gone somewhere, and I was the eldest, was left at home that day. Anyway, I was only home down from up here. And here, some of them came up and said, "There's a cow in the flaxel." And I asked what side was the flaxel, and she was on the side to be drowned. Well, here was I, sure I was only a stranger because I was up here at the time. But I wasn't near 20 years of age. And I went down, and here was a cow, and there was nothing up, only 2 horns and a nose. So there was not a man about. The rest was all younger than me, and they were only kids. So I sent some of them to a neighbour's house to get a man to take the cow. My father wouldn't be home, and the cow was still going down. And what did I do? I jumped straddle-legs across the pole, and I went over and I grabbed the cow by the 2 horns, and I got my fingers in her nose on one horn, and I held her head out of the water to help come and got her out. I done that in my day, when I was only a teenager.
It's no wonder the Lord doesn't want to call on you for another 20 or 30 years.
Oh, should I be too busy above? He's another job keeping me out of harm.
You have too much to do where you are.
He have too much. Nobody did too big a job to keep me out of harm. Well, I remember that. And I remember going over there, the kids, we had a house over there, and they were cleaning out this hen house. And sure, they were all getting something for cleaning out the hen house. So they brought me over to inspect this hen house. And coming home, my brother was ploughing out there in the field, and these calves of ours was in another field, and they went across this pad, and there was a big shovel of water. So one calf jumped up on top of another calf and put him down in the water. And I was coming from inspecting the shed, and they weren't done. They had to finish it. So what could I do, or what could I not do? But I had double strength. So all I could do was go down and get the calf by the nose and the little butty horn. And I give him one whip, and I give him the second whip, and I whipped him out on the bank and didn't drown. Well, I think I can detect, and certainly from looking back over the 91 years, that you've been around, and you'll be around for quite a while yet. I imagine that you're happy the way things worked out for you, that you wouldn't change. A happy life. I had it hard. I had it honest. I don't deny it. I stole nothing on nobody. And I enjoyed my life. And if I was a young woman going to be married and going to have a life again, I'd have the same life I'm after living. And that's all it's about it. I'd go back to my farming, my cow and the calf, the goat and the pig, and everything else. For every one of them loved me. No matter what it was, it'd follow me heels. You see me, when I'd be rearing pets, we weren't very rich. When we married and we had to begin to make up, and I used to rear a lot of pet pigs. People had too many pigs on the sows. That time everyone had sows, and it wasn't like now, there was no piggeries or anything. Everyone in the country had sows, and the sows would have too many pigs, and they'd have to give the pets away as couldn't. So they'd come to me with the pets, and I'd rear the pets. And pets made me up. I'd rear the pet pig, and the pet pig would run after me, and he'd nose me, and no. The day, and they'd live the day, but I'd made me fortune on pet pigs.
All right. Okay, Annie, thanks a million for talking to us.
No.
All right.
Well, thank you.